I'm Scott, and this is Kaylee. Come and join us this summer in our English Heritage series as we explore ancient ruins, medieval castles, Roman settlements, and discover the best British history has to offer. So, today in our first episode on our English Heritage series this summer, we've got this summer. Well, it's February now, but we're going to be doing one over this summer. We've got the English Heritage passes, which are on sale at the minute. It costs us £10 a month for both of us, and we're at Bolsover Castle. Now, it costs us £14 odd each just to come here. Also comes with free parking, and unfortunately, as you can see, it's a bit of a cold and foggy day, so we won't get many views, but we're going to head over to the castle now and have a look around. Kaylee, gift shop. It's a very foggy day today.
Ghost weather.
Ghost weather. Why is it ghost weather? I think we have to go through the gift shop.
Outdoor guided tour, 1 PM.
Outdoor guided tour at 1 PM. So we've just come through the visitor centre where they've got the cafe, which we're having lunch at later, the gift store and the check-in, and now we're going to
Go get lost.
Go get lost, take and explore.
I'm gonna go take and explore.
I'm going to go take and explore. So this was built in the 17th century by the Cavendish family, was it? Unlike most castles of that period and earlier, it wasn't built to defend the land. It really was built to entertain. A lot of lovely paintings on the walls and rooms to entertain people in. And it's been fully restored by English Heritage back to its former glory. And it's got a real Hercules theme throughout, which we'll see later on.
Ignore the road signs when you get near here.
Yeah, the road signs just going round and round about 3 times before we decided the sat nav was probably right. I know.
That's a big door.
Oh, there we go. So there's the little castle, which is the place that's been restored, and this is the ruins. It was actually built on the site of an older castle, which I think was 15th century. Oh, second-hand bookshop and viewing gallery upstairs. Should we come back and have a look at the bookshop?
No.
Okay. That's a lovely big tree, isn't it? Wow, that's an impressive door, isn't it?
The coat of arms is really worn down, isn't it?
Yeah.
So this is all the bit that's all empty now, isn't it? All
Yeah, but there seems to be
derelict.
something in there to go and have a look at. Should we have a look in here? Thank you, darling.
Which way do you want to stop?
I don't know. William Cavendish, Duke of Newcastle. I think that's supposed to rotate. Oh, that one works a lot. Wow. Okay, there's a little magnifying glass there if the camera will focus on it to look at that necklace. Here. Do you want to have a look through here, Kay? The riding house.
Especially those of the King of Spain and Portugal. With regard to Barbary horses, I really confess that they are my favourites, and I allow the preference as they have the shape, strength, and natural genteel air of lucidity. Commenting on both these horses, he said, "The horse I rode was a Spanish horse called the Gentry. No other horse went to terra so easily."
I think when they have events on, they must do
Very hard.
It is the riding school.
yeah, must do riding events here.
The airs, and names given to movements taught to a horse in its later stages of training.
Oh, that'd be the viewing gallery through the bookshop look up there.
Off the ground, balanced on its haunches. We now move to the point where a horse who has undergone significant training can begin to train for the airs above the ground. These impressive equestrian exercises were originally designed as battlefield maneuvers to intimidate the enemy and protect the rider. Cavendish explains that each horse has a natural inclination to an air, and that a horse must be observed carefully to select which air is suitable to a specific horse.
Was that dress up for kids?
Not behind the weather photography, is it?
No, I've only brought the video camera today, not the DSLR, because I thought I'm not going to get much shots of the surrounding landscape today.
I don't know. I think it's probably going to lift about 2 o'clock-ish. You get that feeling when the weather is going to change.
Yes.
I think it will at some point today. Hopefully. Anyway.
Well, checking at the start of the week, it was raining, so I'm quite happy to see the weekends a bit clearer.
Well, I don't mind winters like this, and it's relatively mild, isn't it?
Yes.
I'm not a lover of snow. Well, the castle.
Yeah.
It was destroyed by this man.
Yeah.
And then he built that Baroque monstrosity on top, which they've spent a fortune redeveloping.
They have, I've read that.
Yeah.
Yes.
But William Cavendish was the man that literally pulled down the medieval castle.
Yes.
And I do a talk on that castle, and it really upsets me when I realise, the amount of damage that was done at that time to one of the most famous castles in Britain.
Yeah.
And largest.
And what I've read about this castle, it wasn't really to defend or anything now, it was just for a lavish lifestyle and...
Well, the original castle was heavily defended because it was owned by King John himself.
Yeah.
It was gifted to John in 1189, and there were at least 2 sieges here. So it has seen warfare, but as a modern, it really changed from a medieval castle to what it is now, from about the year 1608 onwards, and by 1613 the entire medieval castle had disappeared, and this was built on top of it.
Blimey.
So it was never intended to be defensible.
No.
Even though there was a garrison here during the Civil War. Colonel Muschamp was the man in charge while William was away fighting battles. And there was a token garrison here meant to defend it just in case the parliamentarians turned up. But that was never the case, because in August 1644, after the Battle of Marston Moor, Major General Crawford pulled up at the bottom of the hill there with 3,000 troops, and the drummer boy was sent out to parley almost immediately, so there was no fighting took place there. So, you know, it's had its time, Bolsover Castle, but it's a great shame that the Countess of Oxford took the roof off and then the elements took over.
Yeah.
You know, otherwise it would have been one of the finest palace houses in Britain. You know, I can't express enough just how beautiful that building was over there. You know, particularly the long gallery. It would have equalled Hardwick Hall easily.
Yeah.
And the amount of artwork that was in that building would have been worth billions today. Without a word of a lie. Billions, not millions.
Billions.
This family really had its heyday in the 17th century, and then it sort of got watered down during the 18th and 19th centuries. And today, the Portlands or the Cavendish-Bentinck family own enormous tracts of land, but they've never really respected Bolsover.
No.
It's a great shame, you know, otherwise it would have been one of the wonders of Northern England, really.
Yeah.
And yet so few people have actually been here and, you know, experienced it.
Yeah, I like to do a little bit of research into the place before we come, just so I've got a bit of something. But I love meeting people like you because you give us so much about the sites.
Yeah.
We were out at, it's not an English hotel, but we went to Lincoln Cathedral and Castle the other day. And
It really is an interesting place.
An interesting place, and we met some great people there who were telling us about the glass and a lot of the history.
A little anecdote for you. Hate to sound like a know-all, but did you notice the top of a statue there of George III? And it really is the top of a column, and it was called Dunstan's Column, and it used to stand as a lighthouse on the moors 7 miles out of Lincoln. And then it got sheared off during the Second World War because it was forming a danger to low-flying aircraft with all the airfields around there. So they took it and they dumped it in Lincoln Castle. I mean, it's so steeped in history, and the Great Fair of Lincoln, the joust between the English and the French in 1217, and just, you know, I mean, we slaughtered the French, you know, and it was the last big battle of William Marshall, you know, the great William Marshall, fairest knight of all. The Fair of Lincoln it was called.
Yeah.
So that was 1217, and it was all around the castle there. I'm sorry.
No.
I do rabbit.
I love it. I love finding out about all the history of the places that we're going.
But any time you want any information in this area, just come up and see me.
Oh, I will. What's your name?
I'm John Taylor.
John Taylor. I'm Scott.
Hi,
nice
Scott.
to meet you, John.
Yeah,
That's
and you.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
But
for
yeah,
the history.
if you ever need any information, just ring the people at the top and just say, can you ask John whatever, and I'll give them the information for you.
Fantastic. Thank you very much,
pleasure.
John. Thank you. You have a
Cheers,
good
then.
day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers. I don't know where she's gone now. Kaylee?
Have you lost her?
I've lost her. I'll find her. Ah, you're here. Hello. Oh, we've got to film, have we? I better not film that in case it's copyrighted. Are we heading out? Are you watching this first? Done? Okay. So we just met John in there, who's a tour guide, full of lovely history of the place. I love meeting people like John because they give you so much information around the place that we're at. we're in the dining room. Yeah. Now, John's just told us a bit of history about this place. He says this would have been one of the marvels of England if it wasn't tore down for the small castle over there, which we'll look at later. So these are the ruins of the original castle. Big old fireplace there, look.
I'm assuming that's where the drawing room comes from. It's a shorter way of saying with drawing room.
I don't know, I'll have to look that up.
I've only ever really heard the drawing room.
This part is closed for safety.
Oh, graffiti.
Yeah, people were doing
Oh,
graffiti
definitely.
hundreds of years ago. Let's have a look, what have we got here? 1890. In some more modern day stuff.
I understand that the stoneworkers and things carving the names or the initials or dates or whatever, but people are just doing it now for the sake of putting the name on it.
Well, yeah, I get that, but they were still doing it in 1890.
With door hinges and things.
Oh yeah, you still got the things in there for the door hinges, would have been. You're right. They actually do ghost walks here as well. Now that can't be graffiti, that's got to be 1822. That's the oldest one we've seen yet. That's got to be part of the actual stone.
They even had a beer cellar.
Oh, look at that, you can see right down into the cellars. Keeps going off that way as well. Wow. Yeah, okay, there's one of the big old door hinges, look.
Mm. Doesn't look that much room, does it?
Oh, the kitchen's housed in the basement, so that was actually the kitchens beneath the hall in front of you. We designed for maximum efficiency.
It doesn't look
Sure,
that. Look very small, very narrow, thin rooms, don't they?
Well, I'm guessing some of it would have been kitchen, and some of it would have just been storage, food storage and things. And I'm guessing they may have put it down there because it would have been cooler, wouldn't it? Underground for storage, food. You see the holes in the wall. I'm guessing that have big beams in it to support the floor, maybe.
Mhm. Yeah, 'cause you've got a walkway there. Look.
Yeah. And they would have probably come in from outside there, down the steps into the kitchen. But how would they have got back up without going outside? There must be another route down there, maybe, to go. I don't know if I can get the camera around there to see.
Ghost.
Ghost. There. See, that was all part of the original hall or castle.
I wonder what these big holes are. Or wood. It's everywhere.
I don't know, maybe, I don't know, because I reckon if you look up there, there would have been a floor at some point, unless it was one high for a roof. Yeah, I don't know. Could we park the doors maybe?
What, in the middle of a wall, next to a fireplace?
You never know. Oh, right.
Sunshine. This is the gallery. That's the gallery.
This was the gallery. Gallery terrace entrance. Wonder what was through there. I'm going to check out the terrace quay. Wow, on a clearer day the views from up here would be spectacular. Bit of a foggy day today though.
Imagine standing out up there.
Blimey, gives me vertigo looking at that. Oh wow, yeah, balcony. Just looking out from up there. Right, do you want to head that way or do you want to head round, or shall we just going to explore? I do like all the detail in the brickwork here, look, it's quite nice. I bet this looks really good at night lit up. Switch to the wider view on the camera so we can actually get this in. It's huge. Oh, I'm not sure. I wonder what came out of those, because they look like they're like pipes of some sort. Maybe it's some sort of drainage for the roof. Oh, we can actually see it now from the bottom, can't we? Because we've gone down a level. Spidey web. Don't drop the camera, Scott. That would be disastrous because you'd have to run round. Views are amazing. Anything up there?
Hmm.
Yeah, definitely some sort of drainage. So this is the little castle, as it's known.
Excellent.
That figure above the door, holding it up, the balcony, is Hercules. It's got a Hercules theme to it. And these arrow slits, they were never designed to be actually used. They were just decorative to keep with the theme.
They're equivalent of dummy cameras.
Their equivalent of dummy cameras, precisely. You ready to go in, Kay? Yeah? You're still looking up? Do you want to have a look on the outside first, around those gardens, and then go in? Yeah. Oh, slipper. An old wooden door in the basement. Probably some sort of staff entrance or something. Nearly fell over. That's slippy.
Hello, you alright?
Oh, yeah. That will be the wall walk. Wall. That'll be where you walk the walls. No.
Little boy's pee.
Wonder where this goes. Oh, it's locked.
Got a little bald spot in that bit.
Thanks for that, Kay. Not bold spots of crown.
That's really awkward because the arch is that way, but the walk-through is that way, and then the castle is that way.
Well, no, because there's the main door of the castle, so that would have been just straight through, wouldn't it? I'm going to go and have a look at this fountain. Okay, come and look inside this. It's got a dragon in it. Lots of figures. Stepped over the barrier there. See, all these rooms have fireplaces. I wonder what they'll be used for. See, it's got like a seating area and a fireplace. Actually, I think when I was looking at the website, we come out that door through the house, do the walk, it takes us back down to here.
Mm-hmm.
Look at these big iron things here. I wonder what they're for.
Yes.
There's another one up
Maybe
there.
something I meant on the wall, please.
Bolting it onto. Maybe it's holding the wall up. Quite possibly. Looks like it goes into the ground, so whatever it was, it's been filled in.
Voices.
I hear voices, yeah. Okay.
Yep. The birds don't make it creepy at all.
There he is. Hercules with a club in his hand, killing some sort of creature. It's not like a lion, I'm not sure what that is. No, don't worry, I won't slip this time. I'm going to go round the slippy floor. Don't slip on the stairs. Oh, it gets a bit dark here. Let's see how the GoPro copes. Sorry.
Okay.
Thank you. The what? Yes, I'm out, yeah. So this is Hercules, taking on many different animals. Keep taking photos of me.
Oh, that's why I keep walking round because it's you're okay for the first hour and then after that it drops and I just lost and thought I've got third underwear. So I'm used to it. You use a woolly hat. Yes, I have got over to wear it actually. I've got a shortage on it. Oh, right. Yeah, it just drops up with the doors being the caste walls so open and it's made yeah. It's just sort of interesting. So this is a really good example of Jacobean decor, very flamboyant and in your face. Yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah. It has been restored, the original panel works there, but it's been restored. But it used to have silver.
This room's amazing, isn't it?
Velvet chairs and things. Very nice. They used to come here and have their desserts, wines, etc., and drinks after dinner.
Yeah, we'll go upstairs first. What's down here? Oh. Closet. This way. Can I open this? Yes, I can. Can't remember where I've been and haven't been now. Trying to figure it out. I got myself a bit lost. There's only about 6 rooms. These stairs maybe? Have we been in this room? Yes. Right, I think we've gone down a few floors now into a basement, haven't we? It's a very dark room. Yeah, it's tiny, isn't it, for a kitchen? Really small and... Ah, so these would have been ovens, wouldn't they? Looks like your average pizza oven today. I'm guessing with a fire underneath, heating up the stone. That must have been storage then, that we were in. Yeah, there is, isn't there? Actually, I don't think that's feet. It looks like water's running along it. Into a gully here, look.
Yeah.
Because there's an outlet here, which goes under there. There's also an outlet there. So that must have been some sort of drainage. Yeah, it must have been, because this looks like sort of all wash basins that have drainage in them.
That walking up these is weird.
Here we go.
Almost that. And then, go the other way.
Execution of the executioner. That's displays two pigs and the dead body was executed. So there, each one is free as well. So there's no paying to get it's about £6. But for the house, August and September, then started the tours.
August and September.
Yeah, looked after pre-book.
Yeah.
About 30 for the tour. For me,
That's all money, is it worth it?
For me now, when I was very disappointed. The only reason I was disappointed is because I'm massive into my architecture and it was literally like when I went to Wilton. Robert Smithson is my entirely as an architect and he built the houses. Now when I went to Wilton, it was fantastic. Yeah, that's what's happened very far.
We're now up on that balcony that was being held up by Hercules. Oh yeah, you're right.
In this suite of rooms, we're obviously standing in the heaven closet, and the word closet means something different to what we might think. It's not a wardrobe, it's a kind of closed space, so closet. So this is a suite of rooms known as William's bedroom. So the large room outside with the grey panelling was the kind of main bedroom space. And in the 17th century, a bedroom wasn't necessarily a bedroom like a private space as we would think of it today. Like in the 17th century, if you were invited to William Cavendish's bedroom, it was because you might be a close associate, business, someone he worked with in business, or something like that. So being invited up to the bedroom, it was essentially a public space. So these rooms served as smaller, more private meeting spaces. But it was very much a symbolic kind of, bedroom. This is the level that you've been kind of allowed to enter into, so therefore you're quite important and quite close. So that room in there, like I say, would have been covered with tapestry on the walls. So the recesses in the walls are actually bookshelves. They would have been covered over with tapestries, and there would have been flooring and things there, and also paintings as well. So decorated, lots of decoration. But in here, it's slightly different, that the decoration is actually painted onto the walls. So what we see here is essentially the decoration schemes that would have existed in William Cavendish's time. We have, at the top, if we start in the middle and work out, Jesus, obviously, ascending into heaven, and he looks like he is dancing, and that's for good reason, because this ring of cherubs around are actually playing all kinds of musical instruments. And I think it's fascinating the different instruments that we have here. Lots, some kind of basic horns, as they might have looked in the 17th century, and 17th century bagpipes as well. There is a piano balanced on a cloud over here.
Oh, there we go.
And my favourite of all of them is this guy playing the trombone.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, lots of music going on. And we've also got music in the four corners of the room. So one there, another one there.
Yeah.
And you might think in a room with a theme, that is quite religious, you might think this is a hymn, maybe 4 parts of a hymn. It's actually not, it's 4 parts of a folk song. So it was written and put together by a composer called Thomas Ravenscroft, who was a prolific composer of and collector of folk songs at that time. And this would have been contemporary to William's life. So this is almost like taking the current #1 single and putting it on your ceiling. Yeah. So anyone coming in here who could read music would recognise it, and they'd also recognise the tune and recognise the subject matter of that song, because it's a song about Robin Hood.
Oh, right.
Yes, yeah. And William was the protector of Sherwood Forest at one point. That was the position that he held at that time. That's him being based in Derbyshire obviously gave him that good position, good access to Sherwood Forest. So anyone coming in here and recognising that song as one that they knew from daily life would immediately get the joke. And that's William all over, really. Lots of in jokes, lots of kind of wry and bawdy humour as well. We have the lyrics to this song. We actually know how it goes, and it's a little bit rude. But again, that was William's style. That was really what he enjoyed. Around the frieze here, just for panelling, these are all objects associated with crucifixion itself. So you probably recognise some of those, depending on how well you know your crucifixion and Easter stories. So if you move around there, you just see all of those. And these paintings are in situ, they haven't been repainted, they haven't been recreated. These are as they were and as they are now today, 400 years later. And even onto the side of the wall that really you wouldn't be able to see if the sun and the light was coming through. They even put the paintings around here as well. And just looking above the window there, we've got the date for the painting scheme, which is 1619. So that's survived there for 400 years, 405 years now.
When they restored this building, was there much touch-up work that was needed in these paintings?
Yeah, there was, sadly. In this corner especially, there was a bit of water ingress that came from just this side of the castle. So where we're standing now, if you kind of orientate yourself with the wall outside, obviously just over there is where the like really steep escarpment is over the side of the hill, and that's the direction that the castle was moving before the Ministry of Works came to fix it all up. And it's why you'll see the studs in the side of the wall as well. So sadly there was a bit of water ingress there, but that's the bit that's been kind of conserved and redone a little bit. But in terms of the panelling, this is the original panel. This is painted in a kind of early Chinese style. It's possibly, we think, maybe the earliest example of this style anywhere in the country.
You see a lot of Chinese style in the fountain outside as well, don't you?
Yeah, a little bit.
This
Yeah,
dragon
yeah.
in there,
So this was not fashionable. It was very new and wild. So again, William all over. But it became fashionable later, about 50, 100 years later. And you see a lot of chinoiseries, the official term, later on. These are not secret passages, unfortunately. They are just cupboards, but they're lockable cupboards. So we know that this is somewhere that William could keep his, very, what would you call it, like important documents and things like that. Anything particularly private needs to be kept carefully locked away. That could have been done in there. If we open this door, it's quite a short, not very deep space. It's only about this far back, but it's got shelves, like wooden shelves, that go across the side. And it would have been a lovely warm space as well. This fireplace again, as you've seen all through the castle. It's fantastic. 4 different types of local stone, local marble. All of these would have come from Cavendish-owned quarries. So yeah, very much making use of the things that he had directly at his fingertips, and showing off the wealth that his family had as well.
Very good, thank you.
You're very welcome. Yeah. Is there any more questions at all?
No, that's brilliant. Thank you very much.
Very welcome. Enjoy the rest of
Cheers.
your day.
Thank you. This one. Some really interesting paint on the ceiling here. I mean,
So this room, as you might guess, it's a slightly different theme to the very religious and very proper little cherubs in the other room. And this is called the Elysium Closet because it talks about Elysium as the Greek heaven. Okay, so we've got very much similar to what we saw in the other room. We've got a circle of figures surrounding a figure ascending into the sky. Rather than the kind of musical theme, it takes a little bit more of a, let's say, physical theme. With the figures kind of treated here in various different states of undress and also kind of being captured as well. You know, this is very much an essential scene. You know, it's just designed to be quite symbolic, I suppose. You know, the things that they're sort of doing talk about, you know, the kind of human condition and things like that. There are lots and lots of theses and things that have been written about how this all comes together and what the symbolism is. So you can look that up and you'll find an awful lot, but you may recognise some of the Greek gods. We've got Bacchus there, god of wine, and then around here we've got various different gods as well. So are you going to challenge my memory here? If I start on this side, because I tend to remember them better if I start this way. We've got, what's her name, Hera with the owl, that was her symbol, with the helmet as well. She's a goddess of war. We've got Mercury with the winged helmet there. The peacock goes with Juno, and she's got peacock-coloured sandals on as well. And next to her is her husband Jupiter, and she's looking away while he is enjoying conversation with another woman, another lady. And here we've got Hercules. So you may well have seen Hercules in the rooms downstairs with the Trials of Hercules. So the way that we can read the paintings and the scheme throughout the whole castle is you kind of start at the bottom and work your way up, because you know, as you work your way up, you become more important in the I suppose. Hercules, actually, we always follow the story of Hercules as we go through, and again, it's very much talking about a human condition, and you know, we can maybe see William Cavendish in the character of Hercules himself. And this is the last time we see him as we ascend through the castle. And he's now taking a well-earned rest. He's sat there, he's got his club next to him, and his reward is a conversation with this lovely lady here. As we move around, we can see Mars there. I'm confusing the Greek and Roman gods, I do apologise, but you know who I mean. Yeah. We've got Diana here, she's got her moon tiara, so she's got us with the moon. We've got Bacchus there. And then that's Venus or Persephone, whichever way you want to interpret it. This room was actually designated the Hell room, so contrasting with heaven, this was maybe hell. And this is because the panels, which now look quite damaged, unfortunately, they were covered over and whitewashed in the Victorian period. So the castle became the vicarage, the home of the local vicar. Victorian vicar wasn't overly overjoyed with this room. It wasn't his favourite, but he also didn't like the painting on the panels. There's a little scrap of it that we can see on some of them here. If I find a good example. I don't know if you can see there. Can you see there's like vertical lines? Yeah. And I know here as well. There's another one kind of here. You see this sort of gold paint? So that's what the panels would have looked like. They would have been covered in this paint and then painted over with kind of gold, like feather type patterns. He interpreted it as flames, hence the Hell room. Okay. And he didn't like it at all. He thought it was quite, you know, not just vulgar, but actually quite devilish. So he whitewashed all the panels over, which sadly means that when the whitewash was removed, none of the paint survived, except for these scraps. But that was his opinion of this room anyway. But he was a historian, so he had great respect for the history of the place where he was living and the castle that he was renting from, the Duke of Portland. So he didn't destroy the paintings, thankfully, and they do survive today.
Was it the same artist that painted both rooms?
We think so, yeah. So it would have been a local artist working to reference pieces and reference work. It's not the most accomplished painting in the world. Obviously, kind of, the backwards of Derbyshire here, it's not a hotspot for wonderful, great works of art, but it was decoration that William wanted, and this is what he commissioned. So it would have been either, a single hand or a team of artists, local artists, just interpreting that and getting the paint on the walls, essentially.
And was it Cavendish that actually designed the painting then?
He would have had a lot of influence in how it was designed. So he would definitely have wanted the Hercules story to be continued up here. That was he was a very well-educated man, so he would have had his own ideas about the philosophy that goes behind it as well, and the stories and the classical themes that he could draw on. So he would have had a hand in exactly how it was put together. For sure, and the combination of the Heaven and Elysium closets as well would have been down to him. And just one final point, we've got, just above the door here, we've got two philosophers that are crying on one side, and you can't really see it because it's a bit warm, unfortunately, but he is laughing, so we've got that kind of comedy tragedy type of contrast going on. And the very last thing that you see, if you are moving through the castle and you are following the story and the painting scheme as it was designed by Henry Cavendish, the last thing you see is this phrase, all is but vanity. So whatever you see, however it's painted and however you want to look at it, in the end, it's just vanity.
That's brilliant. That's lovely. Thank you. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you.
Thank you. So we've now headed back down onto the walls to do the wall walk. We had the pleasure of meeting Charlotte and Julie while we were in there. I wasn't filming while we were talking to Julie about the building, but she did answer a few of the questions for us. The big iron or metal plates along the inside of the wall in the garden are because it was built on top of a coal mine, and it was to help stop it subsiding. If English Heritage hadn't stepped in, it probably would have collapsed. The rooms off in the courtyard with the fireplaces were for meeting women, mainly for Cavendish. One was actually a laboratory as well, because he was a fan of the sciences. And we met Charlotte upstairs, and she gave us some brilliant talks on the paintings in his bedroom, and a bit of history about that. So we're going to have a walk around the walls now and then go and get a spot of lunch, I think.
This wall walk's definitely nicer than the Lincoln Castle one.
Oh yeah, it's got lovely views, hasn't it? For walking around.
Upset with people now.
What, down there?
Not quite as expected as the one next to Lincoln Cathedral.
Why do you want to live everywhere we go? Every time we go to one of these places,
Because I want to overlook a castle. Who wouldn't?
You don't want to live in the castle, you just want to overlook it, do you?
I can't afford to heat that.
Well, it's got no heating in it anyway.
That's what I mean.
So it's really good that they have people throughout. We've only talked to 3 of the tour guides, but we've seen more just throughout the premises, who are very knowledgeable about the castle and the grounds. Give you a lot of history about the place, more than I can.
Garden of Delight says it all, doesn't it?
Mm.
Did you recognise any of those gods? She was saying the Roman names, but did you recognise them in the Greek after watching Percy Jackson?
Yes, I recognised both actually. Didn't lie, Google lied. It says it wasn't going to rain.
No, trochę. Są pańskie.
So apparently when Cavendish used this mainly as a holiday home when he came over from Hardwicke, was it? When King Henry I visited, he wanted to become the horsemaster for the royal family. So in today's money, just for the day, he put on a massive show because he had a love of horses and spent what would be in today's money £1 million. Wow. So we made it to the cafe now. A couple of sandwiches, a cake, a pin badge, a couple of coffees. It comes to 25.20. It's not the cheapest, but the sandwiches do look nice.
So does the cake.
So does the cake. Picked up a little pin badge as well.